So, Metal, you with us. We're talking to Danny Schuler of the band Biohazard that are coming to Israel. And first of all, hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're pretty good. We're pretty good. Actually,
You okay over there? I know there's a lot of problems over there. I just,
well, there
I
are
know you guys
problems.
are okay. That's all.
There are problems,
All right,
but
good.
I don't know how you perceive it over there. It's not that bad actually. So be cool to come here. It's pretty safe.
We'll be there. I'm not worried.
So let's begin by asking what's going on with Biohazard these days.
Right. Well, these days, Biohazard is playing shows around the world and getting ready to record another album and coming to Israel August 2nd in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
That's what's up with Biohazard, and we're really excited about that. We can't wait to get there.
Okay, talking about Tel Aviv and the show, you had a show here like 20 years ago. So we weren't there because I was like, I don't know, 9 years old. And I probably wasn't, very familiar with your work. But since then, I have learned. And we wanted to know, what do you remember from that show? Because from what we heard, it was one of the greatest shows that this country has ever seen,
I don't know about that, but for us, it was one of the greatest shows we ever did. I mean, it was actually 2 shows 20 years ago, and we had a great time. It was really amazing. It was in 1994. We had a few days that we were able to, see some things around the country and experience a lot of, we went to Jerusalem, and we were in Tel Aviv, and we went to Masad, and we went to the Dead Sea. It was amazing. And the shows were just crazy. I remember we played 2 shows. It was very hot, and the people were just going nuts. They were so passionate and amazing, and that's what I remember about it. So I'm looking forward to having that happen again this time, Just have a lot of fun and meet some great people and just share some great music.
Okay, that's great, and we were looking forward for that. And let's ask a couple of questions regarding the band's history. So for a band that exists for so long as you guys, you're still around, and but you've been through so many turbulences through the years, many conflicts, disbandment, various side projects, and also the living of a founding member, bassist and singer, even Seinfeld. So how is it to work in a new environment with a new singer, with different people after all of these years?
Well, we've had a couple changes in the band before, Bobby, our guitar player, left in 1995. We had a couple of guitar players in the band for a few years after that. So, I mean, we've been down that road before. We've dealt with that. But, nowadays, I mean, it's different. We have Scott Roberts is in the band now. He's singing with Billy. And, I don't know, it just feels like really solid and strong to me right now. And, it's still most of the original band. It's 3 of us and Scott.
Mm-hmm.
But I think more importantly, the band kind of has the same energy and the same passion that we had before. And, it's cool. A lot of bands these days change members. It happens. When somebody quits, what are you going to do? You can't make them stay, right? So you just go on. Just go on and keep going. And that's what we're doing, man. And it's been great so far.
And Roberts, he first came to the band, as far as I know, as a guitarist, and now it came up in the end that he is the band singer.
Yeah.
Did he sing elsewhere prior to that, or how did that happen?
No. Scott Roberts was a guitar player in a band called the Spud Monsters. He was also in the Cro-Mags for a little while, a couple different bands, and he's been a friend of ours for a very long time. And he was never a singer. And just one day we were sitting in the studio, and he was a guitar player, and I said to him, man, can you play bass? And he was like, yeah. And I said, can you sing? And he said, well, I'll give it a shot. And that's it.
So you let him try everything? You let him try everything, but the guitar, you said, let's try your singing.
I mean, Scott has a lot of other qualities that are very important to the band. He's a very hard worker. He believes in what he does. He's a good person. He's a good friend. We need that in this band. We can't just have anybody jump in there and fill in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
We're a family.
All right, so let's go to a song. We would like to listen to the song Vengeance is Mine, which is from your latest album from 2012. And can you tell us what is this song about, lyrically wise?
Vengeance is Mine is about revenge, about being counted against and firing back with everything you got, man. That's what it's about.
Well, we can relate. So
Yeah,
we're
of
going to
course.
listen to
Okay.
Biohazard with Vengeance is Mine.
Yeah.
Until you pay, vengeance is mine. It's my victory, my war, my rage explodes on you. Time's up, there's no regret and no remorse. My life, my way, my family. The taste of blood is what I crave. What's right, what's wrong, what you did to me? I take my vengeance to your grave. All your life and all your days, you ain't never gonna change your ways. I'm never gonna rest until you pay. Vengeance is mine. 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 Payback's a fucking bitch. Your actions bring forth my rage, vendetta. Going to my grave, my justice will come in time. Vengeance is mine. 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 Vengeance is mine.
Yeah, metal. You're back. We've listened to Vengeance is Mine by Biohazard, and we're talking to Danny Schuler, the drummer of the band. So technically, you haven't been a founding member, but you have been with the band since the beginning, like through the whole career and all of the albums. So technically, you
Yeah.
are supposed to know everything about the band. So let me ask you a question. By your last name, we understand that you're Jewish. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so was Seinfeld. He's a Seinfeld, so it makes sense. And also, when Billy gave an interview to Metalist magazine like 10 years ago, he said that he also was celebrating Hanukkah with Seinfeld and such. And we wanted to know if you get any kind of news or anything about this area. As Jewish people, at least most of the band since the beginning, how do you feel about that? What's going on here in the Middle East? Do you have any kind of a stand or something that you think about it?
Well, being an American, it's very hard to comprehend exactly what's been going on for so long. And the way the news reports it here in the United States, it's hard to believe, it's hard to trust the news sources, because the news in the United States is so different from the reality.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
so,
You have
like,
you have
for instance-
You have CNN, they're reporting one thing from one side, and then you have Fox News, and they have their own agenda, and they tell a whole different story about the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, I've been traveling around the world for 26 years or so now. And, you know, I've learned that, you know, the news, the media, they don't always get the story right. You have to go there. You know, you have to go to these places and meet the people and experience it. And, you know, from my point of view, not that it matters. I mean, I'm not a politician and I'm not working for the government. I'm a musician for the people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I think it's got to be very hard, you know, for you guys with the war, you know, and the fighting for so long. You know what I mean? I just pray that everybody can find peace over there and find a way to come to an end to all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
By the same token, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, man. So I understand.
Yeah, I think that the first time that Americans could really relate to grasping terrorism was that horrible attack of 9/11. And that affected a lot of musicians also, that released a lot of music based on what happened and changed a lot of things in their lyrics and stuff, because this thing really touched United States really to grasp terrorism. So did that thing affected you as a band also?
Yeah, very much. You know, we all lost friends in what happened in New York. I mean, you know, I grew up in New York my whole life, and to see that happen was horrible. You know, it was terrible. We were home when it happened. It was a terrible thing to see. But, you know, I understand that there are parts of the world that have been dealing with terrorism for way longer than the United States has. And unfortunately, in this day and age, it's like a fact of life. You know, there's so much fighting in the world that we're all dealing with it, you know, some way or another. And I try to have hope that one day we can all resolve these things peacefully. It's not always possible. But I have hope, you know, I have hope.
We're going to listen now to what song, Leo?
We're going to go now actually to listen to Tales from the Hard Side, a song that you play at some shows and we really like. So let's listen to that. Biohazard with Tales from the Hard Side.
Tales from the hard side. You calm was down when you trolled through the night as a man in dark clothes came into your sight. A barrel tapped the glass, you reached the window lock. Get the fuck out the car and leave it in the crossbar. Climb into your seat and drop about a crack. Prison down your leg, you're a victim of carjack. Feel the cold steel as I pull the hammer back. Fucking dead, 'cause it's like that.
talking to Danny Schuler of Biohazard. So coming to Israel, and when? What is the date? Can you remind us, Niv?
The August 2nd in
It's
Barbie,
happening in the
Tel
Barbie
Aviv.
Club in Tel Aviv. And we're looking forward for that show, and never saw you guys before, us too, and we're really looking forward for that. Let's go to a different subject. In 2004, the band had begun recording the 8th studio album, Means to an End. And the completed album was lost in some kind of a crazy disaster. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah.
And then it was re-recorded again.
The crazy disaster was there was a really bad storm in the studio that we were in. We had our own studio in New Jersey, got struck by lightning.
Oh my
And
gosh.
as you probably know, it was crazy. As you probably know, most of records these days are recorded and stored onto hard drives, as information. And the lightning strike erased every hard drive in the building, erased the entire album that we had recorded. And every copy.
Oh my God! So actually, going digital worked against you guys at that specific point.
Yeah, it was no good.
Oh my God!
We had to redo the whole thing. It was insane. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. But
and how was
that's
it?
what happened.
How was it like?
Thousands of dollars trying to get it back. And
But if these days a lightning would strike again in your studios, do you have backups now?
Yeah. We have backups that we keep someplace else now.
Yeah,
Okay,
they sell
good
it
idea.
cheap at KSP. Come on, it's like you have to have some kind of a backup, man. But
Hey, listen, if we were rocket scientists, we'd be in spaceships, all right? We're not. We're in a rock band, so what do you want?
Yeah, of course. But did you have the same energy? And because just thinking about our experience with that,
course.
we recorded once a show, like a 2-hour Megadeth special, and we were so happy about it. And just when we finished, the computer got stuck, nothing was saved. We had to do the whole thing again, and we didn't have any energy, to do the same thing again. It wasn't natural. How did you record a whole album again? That's crazy.
Yeah, we did it. I mean, we just kind of said, you know what? Let's forget it happened. Let's just start over again. Let's get the feel right. We'll take our time. I think we took a week off. When we came back, we did it again, and it came out better than the first time. So
yeah, it was better than the first time?
It was great. In a way, it was good that it happened, but it cost us a lot of money. So hopefully it never happens again.
Well, that's actually a really cool story. We're sorry that it happened,
Yeah.
but if it came out better, then maybe it's for the best.
It happens.
Yeah. We're going to listen to Set Me Free from that album. That's a song that we really like. Anything you have to say about that song?
All I can say is it wasn't free to do the album twice. That's all I can say.
Okay, Set Me Free by Biohazard. Metal Metal!
Okay.
We're back here with
Yeah.
Danny Schuler from Biohazard and we're talking about all sorts of stuff. The next question,
Lior mentioned before the whole thing with you have Jewish roots there in your band, and interesting question.
it's not that we're all into anything related to kind of religions or anything.
No,
that
we
don't really care about
that.
these things at all.
But we understand. Then at least in the beginning of the band, it had been considered to be affiliated with like white supremacy groups. And we never got how
how it can make
that
sense
be?
if how it can make sense that anybody would say that if like 3/4 of the band are like Jewish.
Yeah. Well, at the time, half the band was Jewish. But either way, that was always a weird thing that we had at the beginning of the band. There were all these rumors. And, the way I always felt like was, my grandparents are both Jewish. How the hell could we be associated with something like that? And even beyond that, growing up in New York City like we did, you got to deal with all kinds of people. You know what I mean? All kinds of people, all different races, all different religions, all different sexual preferences, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like a white supremacist, you're not going to do well in New York City. It just doesn't. It would be really hard to live every day that way. So, that was just like a rumor. I don't know how it came about, but thankfully everybody knows that that's not the way it is.
Yeah, of course.
And, man, we love everybody, man. We're just a rock band, man. We're just doing our thing, We're just a band, bunch of idiots playing music that hopefully means something to somebody, man. That's it,
Yeah, but what about the scene itself? Like, I don't know a lot about the crowd itself, but when I went to, it's not exactly the same type of music, but like, for example, a Hatebreed show. When you go to a Hatebreed show in the U.S., most of the crowd are like skinheads. It happens, So did the crowd care about you guys being Jewish?
Nobody really brings it up, to be honest with you.
It never happened through all these years that somebody brought it up?
People have brought it up in the past, but it's not like a huge factor, I think everybody knows that we don't care what religion anybody is or what color anybody is or anything like that. Like, we don't judge people by that. We judge people by their behaviors and how they live. You know what I mean? And if they treat everybody with respect, we'll treat you with respect. So, the whole question of being Jewish or not Jewish doesn't really come up very much. But when it does, people ask me, hey, are you Jewish? I say, yeah. I come from a Jewish family, raised in Brooklyn, New York. There's a lot of Jewish people in Brooklyn, New York.
Another example of something that might have made people talk about your band is that Seinfeld became famous, like a TV personality at time, being like in porn and
no, porn is not a TV personality. That's one thing, but he was he was doing Oz, which was on HBO, was in prime time, and it was one of the best shows that I've seen, like, ever.
I watch porn. You have problem with that? I know him from porn.
Yeah, actually, you know what's funny? You know how we figured it out? We didn't, like, read about it, the history of the band at the time, but me and Niv, both of us, we were, at the time, working in a sex shop, and we actually saw a movie. And then, Seinfeld was there, and I'm like, is that not the guy from fucking Biohazard? Then we checked it.
You guys are into Biohazard porno? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. That's how we started to listen to your music by sex.
Because that's okay that you guys feel that way, and I understand you have your own preferences. But, I don't think you're going to get any porno out of us on this next trip.
Yeah. No,
but with you guys anyway.
But the real question here was, is that the whole thing that are surrounding Seinfeld, regardless the Biohazard, did that do any good for the band? Like bringing more people or more listeners?
No.
The fact that he was on TV or any of these things?
No.
No, because for example...
Listen, let me explain something to you. We all like sex. We all love women. Women are beautiful, sexy, all that shit. It's all good. Porno, whatever you're into, it's great. I love it. Love everything. But I never saw a connection between our band and what we were trying to say and pornography. I just never wanted that connection. I never saw that connection. It never made sense to me. It never occurred to me that those two things should ever be connected in any way. Because sex is such a powerful thing. You know what I mean? If you involve sex in anything you're doing, the sex is going to overwhelm anything else you're trying to say. Because with human beings, it's just such a powerful, overwhelming thing. People can't concentrate on anything else. I mean, look at you guys. You guys are sitting there watching porno when you found out about
We're
Biohazard.
just kidding.
No,
we're talking
we're
about
just
the buzz that it made, that he was in TV and everything.
Yeah, but regardless the porn, what I asked was
Right.
he was in prime time TV, and then if you watch it and like, hey, who's that
Right.
guy? Oh, that guy is actually a singer of a band. That's what I meant. Maybe that
Right.
could bring some people to check out the band because he's on TV.
Well, I'm sure some people might have heard of us from that, but I haven't seen any change in our show attendance numbers or anything like that because of that specifically. You know what I mean? I haven't seen any benefit from it. I mean, to me, Biohazard has always been about rising above the shit that in life that fucks you up, the shit in life that affected you as a kid, the things that hold you back from doing your best. We've always had the band to kind of express the things that bothered us. And, I just don't see the tie-in with pornography in our band. I never liked it. I never wanted it there. So
Yeah.
I'm glad it's gone, to be honest with you. I know it's funny. I know it's great to joke about it, and I get it, all that. But, like, for me, Biohazard is not for little kids. You know what I mean? It's like adult subject matter. But when my kids go online and they Google search Biohazard and porno comes up instead of music, that sucks. That
Yeah,
sucks. You know what I mean? I don't want that.
Of course.
I can't control it now, but, I don't fucking want that, man. That's got nothing to do. We're trying to do positive things, good things, That's a tough subject to bring up. You guys are like very interrogating interviewers here.
Of course. What did you think are we gonna ask you? What is the weather?
Yeah, let's do. So you want to do it the regular?
Tough questions.
You want to do the regular interview?
The
No
regular
problem.
interview?
What
Okay.
is your album different than the last one?
You're like the Jewish Geraldo Rivera over here.
Of course. That's what we do.
Yeah, man.
We're just curious, we never saw these
Yeah.
questions
No, that's
anywhere
good.
else.
Hey, you can ask me anything. I'm always going to be honest with you.
Okay,
But yeah,
so
man. Both
why
good.
did Seinfeld leave the band?
You know what? You'd have to ask him that question. I have no idea.
Oh, really? Like it was
You
something
have to
that
ask him.
he just came and he was like, listen, I'm leaving after all these
It would
years.
have been fine if he would have said that, but he didn't. I got an email from somebody saying he quit,
Really?
and that was the end of that.
Wow. After all these years in an email?
Yeah, so you'd have to ask him why. You'd have to ask him. I have no idea.
We're coming to the end. First of all, we really wanted to thank you for your
Yeah,
time and
thank you
everything.
very much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very
Hey,
much.
thank you guys, man. I appreciate it. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I'm just a little guy.
No,
You guys are big shots.
you're a big guy, man. We've been listening to your stuff for a while now, and we really enjoy Biohazard. You've done a lot in the music
Thank you.
business for years, and we
Thank
have a
you.
lot of respect for you.
Thanks, man.
We're going to our last song
Likewise.
with you.
Yeah.
What song we're gonna listen now?
Probably wrap this. What do you prefer that we listen to? Urban Discipline, 5 Blocks.
Urban Discipline.
Urban
Yeah,
Discipline
Urban
doesn't matter what's the
Discipline.
next one. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up with the Urban Discipline, and thank you, Danny
All
Schuler
right.
from Biohazard, for being with us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. We'll see you August 2nd in Tel Aviv.
מטל, אנחנו סיימנו רגע את השיחה הזאת עם דני שולר, המתופף של ביו-הזארד.
הייתה לנו תוכנית שלמה עם המתופף של ביו-הזארד.
כן, זה די
אתם
מגניב.
יכולים להגיד את זה? גם לכם הייתה תוכנית
כן,
כזאת?
כן.
לא, לנו היה דבר כזה.
טוב, בכל מקרה, אנחנו נפרדים מכם על רקע השיר הזה, ארבן דיסציפלין. תודה לכם שהייתם איתנו.
תודה לכם, תודה לכיפת ברזל, תודה לליאור פלג,
תודה לניב
תודה
פלג.
לדני מלהקת
דני
ביו-הזארד, תודה לי שולץ, כמו שאני קורא לו.
תודה לכולכם,
תודה לכולכם, תודה לאלוהים, תודה לפלסטינים שהביאו אותנו עד הלום, ולהתראות בשבוע הבא במטל
אבל למה
מטל.
אתה בכלל להכניס את הקטע הפוליטי הזה?
זה איפה שאנחנו חיים. תצא מהאופוריה שלך, אנחנו חיים בפוליטיקה הזאת. www.icast.co.il/metal וגם 106.2 FM במרכז, הרדיו
הבינתחומי, וגם תמיד בפייסבוק אפשר לראות דברים שלנו, וגם תמיד ביוטיוב אפשר לראות פרקים שלנו.
חברים, היכונו למטל אורדר הקרוב, אנחנו מפרסמים לכם בפייסבוק בתקופה הקרובה את השאלון שלנו, מה אתם רוצים לשמוע, תמצאו את זה בפייסבוק והביעו דעתכם איזה אלבום, איזה להקה, איזה שיר בא לכם לשמוע.
מהבקשות שלכם.
כן, כן, מטל אורדר הקרוב, בשבועות הקרובים במטל מטל, היו נכונים, כל טוב ולהתראות, יאללה ביי.